One way to learn more about meat goats is to become familiar with the different goat breeds that can be used for meat. A breed is a group of genetically related animals that reliably passes on certain characteristics or traits to their offspring. Goat breeds may differ in how they look, but they also tend to differ in the amount of milk they can produce and in the meatiness of their carcasses. Goat meat is produced from many goat breeds in the US, including dairy goats. Dairy goats must kid in order to give milk. Often, the goat kids are slaughtered and sold for goat meat at Easter time. The surplus offspring of fiber goats such as Angora goats and Australian cashmere goats, used for making mohair and cashmere clothing, are also slaughtered for meat. Large numbers of goats used for brush control in the southern ranges of the US are slaughtered every year to provide goat meat. Remember, when selecting good meat goats, it is more important to evaluate the actual animal rather than to choose an animal sight unseen based on its breed. Goats, especially those raised for meat, are very easy to care for. Their adaptability to drastic environmental conditions, huge productivity, and excellent fertility make them ideal for anyone looking to raise farm animals for meat. Moreover, some of these might even be fit to produce milk also. Boer is the best goat breed for meat. Boer goats were first developed in the Eastern Cape region of South Africa. The indigenous goats of Africa were crossed with imported Nubian and Indian goats to produce Boer. These goats are hardy with a great capacity for adaptation. Moreover, they have an excellent ability to withstand and resist diseases that are common in other goat breeds. The meat of Boer goats is of the best quality. This is the reason for their growing popularity among goat meat producers around the world. They can be expensive, but for everything they are capable of providing, they are worth it. Boer goat is recognized by its large muscular white body, red head and blaze. It is a long-legged goat with short, soft hair and long ears. The head is sturdy and has strong horns that have a gradual backward curve. Boer goats have fleshy briskets and well-sprung ribs. The back is broad and the legs are muscular. Boer goats can kid every 7 to 8 months. The Kalahari Red. The origin of Kalahari Red goats is traced back to 2 lines, namely a line of red-headed Boer goat and another of the local unimproved goats of South Africa. The breeder of Kalahari goat claims this breed to be tougher and more robust than Boer goats. The Kalahari goats have a type of red color that is characteristic of this breed. They are pigmented all over the body. The dark red colored coat and long ears provide good heat resistance. These goats can give birth every 8 months. The Savannah type. The white Savannah goat, also known as the white Boer, was developed by local South African goats. The white color of these goats is the reason for their high price. Savannah, along with the Boer and Kalahari, is the most popular meat breed in Africa and most of the world. The Savannah has short white hair with black skin, horns, a nose and an udder. During winter, the goats develop an extra fluffy coat for protection. Their heads are long and slightly curved with big ears. The body is well muscled and has medium width. The backs have rolls of loose skin on their shoulders. The Savannah goats have been recognized as official breeds in South Africa since 1993. Tennessee wooden leg are famously known as Tennessee fainting goats or stiff leg goats. The goats are myotonic. Their muscles become stiff when they are frightened, and as a result, they fall. The Tennessee wooden leg is one of the very few goat breeds that originated in the United States. The goats are primarily used for meat, although they are also kept for milk and make one of the most popular pet breeds. They are medium-sized goats with broad, muscled bodies and short medium coats. The face profile is straight with non-pendulous ears. They are good mothers and easy kidders. They are capable of giving birth 3 times in 2 years. The Australian rangeland goats are otherwise known as Australian feral goats or wild goats. The breed is extremely popular in Australia and is exported around the world as meat and live animals. These feral goats originated from Angora and Kashmir stocks. These are very hardy goats developed through natural selection over many years and are well adapted to harsh environments. The adaptation is so extensive and successful that they are now a major source of goat meat throughout the world. In Australia, the Boer bucks are crossbred with Australian rangeland to produce rapid growing offspring for sale as meat. The black Bengal goat is a small dwarf-sized milk and meat goat with a hard body. The breed is popular for meat in Bangladesh and northeast India. The goats primarily have a black coat of short hair, although brown, white and grey color coats are also found in the breed. It is bearded and has short ears. The average weight of an adult buck is 40 to 44 pounds and an adult doe is 35 to 40 pounds. Both sexes have long horns that are around 5 to 6 inches. Although the average weight of these goats is less than most other meat breeds, the meat quality and kidding capacity do make up for it. The goat kids thrice in 2 years. The Sudanese male desert is an important goat breed for meat production in Sudan. The goats are found in the semi-desert areas of northern Sudan. They are used for both meat and milk production. The meat of these goats is reportedly more tender and juicier than many domestic breeds found in the region. When selecting good meat goats, it is more important to evaluate the actual animal rather than to choose an animal sight and seen based on its breed. The Anglo-Nubians, often just called Nubians, which were developed during British colonial times from crossing British, Middle Eastern and Indian breeds of goats. They have Roman or convex noses and long dangling ears. There are some strains of goats that have been genetically selected by man specifically for meat, such as the Spanish meat goat. Some of these are actual breeds, while others of these are just beginning to have distinct traits that pass reliably from parents to offspring. The breeds or strains used in the US have all been genetically selected from populations of goats brought by settlers to new countries. These goats were often allowed to become almost feral, run wild. Under these conditions, only those who could survive their rugged environment lived long enough to produce offspring. This type of genetic selection where nature, not humans, chooses which livestock will be used to produce offspring is called natural selection. Spanish goats are the descendants of goats brought to the US by early New England settlers. They migrated south and probably interbred with goats brought into Texas and Mexico by early Spanish settlers. Their ancestry is as mixed up as that of a mongrel dog. Their rugged environment shaped them into very tough, rather small goats. Specific ranchers have genetically selected Spanish goats for better meat production by keeping only the biggest or meatiest bucks for breeding to females. Nubian bucks have sometimes been crossed with them to improve size, milk production of dams, and fleshiness of the kids. These meatier goats are known as Spanish meat goats. They come in almost any color and are usually left horned. Their ears are somewhat pendulous, but shorter than a Nubian's. Many of them produce a cashmere undercoat in winter. In 1880, A flock of myotonic goats was identified on a farm in Tennessee. Myotonic means that they have a condition that caused their muscles to lock up whenever they were startled. Sometimes their muscles lock up so suddenly that they fall over. This was the origin of the Tennessee stiff leg or fainting goat population. These goats come in many color combinations and have airplane ears, shaped like alpine ears but not erect. Instead, they jut out sideways. Texas ranchers at Onion Creek Farm chose from this population goats with the largest frames and heaviest muscles to keep for breeding purposes. Gradually, they produced a goat that is larger and heavier than the original strain. These selected goats are known as Tennessee meat goats. The constant stiffening and relaxing of the muscles of myotonic goats may result in heavy rear leg muscling, tender meat, and a high meat-to-bone ratio. The Kiko goat was produced in New Zealand by taking feral does that exhibited good meat conformation and breeding them with Saanen and Nubian bucks to increase their milk yield and butterfat content. Those bucks and does whose offspring grew best, as measured by weight gain, under rugged conditions were chosen to produce the future generations. Kikos have similar ears to Spanish goats but are usually larger framed. They are often white, like their Saanen ancestors.